Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm St. Louis welcome to our new president, Dennis Reynolds.
Good morning. Was that a warm welcome? Yeah. Welcome to this year's second general session. This morning we have an excellent speaker that's going to be outstanding for you. So to start things off, please join me in welcoming the very energetic Suzanne Bagnera.
Good morning. Thank you, President Reynolds, for that nice introduction. In addition to being a full-time assistant professor at Endicott College in Massachusetts, I am also a PhD student at Iowa State University in Ames, Iowa. In addition, our speaker today, her granddaughter is actually a student at Iowa State University. Last year, I was fortunate enough to receive an ICHRIE scholarship from the graduate program with money donated from the Carlson Family Foundation in honor of this morning's keynote speaker, Nancy Johnson. I had the pleasure of meeting Nancy last fall at the scholarship recipients breakfast during the hotel show in New York. This amazing lady is the Executive Vice President for Midscale Development in the Americas for Carlson Rezidor Hotel Group. She is responsible for overseeing the business development efforts for the Midscale brands, including Country Inns and Suites by Carlson and Park Inns by Radisson. The portfolio of the Carlson Rezidor Hotel Group is a powerful set of global brands, including Radisson Blu, Radisson, Country Inns and Suites by Carlson, just to name a few. They presently have more than 1,300 hotels with over 209,000 guest rooms and over 80,000 employees in a global footprint spanning over 80 countries. They are considered to be the 9th largest hotel company in the world. Nancy started her career with Carlson on August 1st, 1989, celebrating her 24th year of service next week. Congratulations. In addition to her many years of leadership and development for Carlson Hotels, she has led franchise operations for full-service hotels, as well as served as the Executive Vice President and brand leader for the company's select service brands. Prior to joining Carlson, Johnson was Vice President and Chief Operating Officer at Hospitality Development Corporation. Nancy has been on numerous boards and councils. She was the founding chair of the AHLA's Women in Lodging Council, a director for the International Hotel and Restaurant Association and the Travel Partnership Corporation, and most recently she served as the chair of the AHLA. Johnson attended St. Cloud University and St. Benedict College. We are honored that she is with us here today. I am ecstatic to introduce a mentor of mine as an inspirational female leader in the industry. Please welcome Nancy Johnson.
Ah, she's such a professional. It's so good to see. This is a very high podium, even for me. Well, I want to thank you. Stand here? Okay. I want to thank you for having me here, except I do need the flipper, I suppose. Get rid of my high school graduation picture. I was a little intimidated when they asked me to come and speak to a group of educators, because all of last year, in 2012, as chair of AHLA, I had the chance to speak to many of your students. And, you know, they are such bright lights, and it was so invigorating to talk to them. And it filled me with a great deal of hope and comfort that the hands of our industry are going to be in the intelligent, passionate people that I spoke with. I titled this presentation, A Passion for Service. And the reason I did that is if I had to sum up my career and what I have done in the number of years that I've been in this business, it's been a lot. I would say that it all came down to I become energized in helping people, solving problems, taking care of them. And as Marilyn Carlson Nelson would put it, I believe that I have a servant's heart. So my message to you is going to be a little bit about my career because, as educators, you speak about what you know. I know what I went through. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about that. I'm going to talk about some people that inspired me and why they inspired me. And I'm going to talk about leadership and legacy. But first, although Susan did a great job, thank you, of talking about Carlson Rezidor Hotel Group, and the most frequent question asked of any Carlsonian is, what in the world is Rezidor? Well, if you've been around and if you've traveled internationally, you would know that Radisson in EMEA was known as Radisson Blue. Radisson SAS. No, I just gave that away. Radisson SAS, because the hotel company originated from Scandinavian Airlines. Well, several years ago, it went public, and when they went public, they had to take the SAS name down, and they are traded on the Stockholm Exchange, and they ended up with this Radisson with a blue swish and a blue box. And so they became Radisson Blue. The company that operates and runs EMEA is Rezidor. That was their publicly named that they took on. So that's the story behind Rezidor. And Carlson is a 51% stockholder in Rezidor. Again, I don't want to be redundant, but it's important to know that the company not only is in the hotel business, but we have over 920 restaurants around the world. And we serve in over 150 countries with our travel company, Carlson Wagenly Travel. And people really don't realize that, yes, that is Carlson. And Carlson Wagenly Travel is today one of the world's largest business travel management companies. It is the largest. I couldn't say one of them, much to American Express's chagrin. But this is our global footprint for hotel operations. And outside of the United States, most of the hotels that are under our brands are operated by our Carlson affiliates. I was very fortunate in my career to come to Carlson. And Carlson today is sort of a female-driven organization. Of course, you know, Marilyn Carlson Nelson and Barbara Carlson Gage are Kirk Carlson's daughters. And Marilyn was chair. She was CEO, president of Carlson over the last 12, 13 years. She just handed over the reign as chair of the board to her daughter, Diana Nelson. And we have our second female CEO in Carlson, in Trudy Radio, and I'm going to be talking a little bit about a few of those women later. I also have had the privilege in my career to work with and be exposed to the American Hotel and Lodging Association. As I was listening to the board meeting earlier for ICHRIE, I noticed some of the same passion, the same questions that come up in associations. And in American Hotel and Lodging Association, we are a member-driven organization that historically has been through state partnerships. In my year as chair, we had surveyed our constituents and found out what they really want from the association. What they told us they wanted was that they wanted us to be the advocates for the hotel industry. They want us to be the voice of the industry. They want us to promote the industry, and they want us to be involved in continually updating the education of their hotel properties. That didn't turn out very good. The American Hotel and Lodging Association is in the center of the industry. No Marriott officer or Hilton officer or Carlson officer wants to talk about bed bugs or wants to be on the line when we talk about security issues that just came up. So the American Hotel and Lodging Association is that filter for us to the media. And it works out very well. So what have I learned along the way? And if you do the math, yes, I started in the hotel industry in '71. I know to some of you that is when the wheel was invented, but it is actually in 1971, as I told many of the students, I was probably a very young, ignorant, single mother. And I have had 2 children. I had been married and divorced. I was married for 2 years, had 2 children. You do the math. They are Irish twins. And so I needed to work in the evenings so I could be with my babies during the day. And of course, I have a wonderful extended family that helped me in doing that, but I still needed to work at night. So I was a cocktail waitress. And, you know, the beauty of a full-service hotel, I was a cocktail waitress in a full-service hotel where my brother was night auditor, so it was a great time, is you get exposed to all of the different jobs in the hotel. You get a snowstorm in Minnesota, 24 inches of snow, and you get to do everything. You're a cocktail waitress, you get to be a bartender, a front desk clerk, you get to be a maid, you get to be a cook, you get to run the whole gambit of jobs in a hotel. And that was when I fell in love with the hotel business. I grew to be the first female bartender, I believe, in the state of Minnesota. And that was a bit of a challenge, but then I became catering secretary, banquet manager, assistant GM, and then I was hired by a construction company in 1975. The company was called Brutger Companies. It was a family-run business, a private company, and they were building a convention hotel in downtown St. Cloud, Minnesota, my hometown. And they hired me as their hotel specialist. Now look, I had never seen a set of blueprints in my life. I didn't know how to measure and read a blueprint or the specifications, but they thought I was in the hotel business, I ought to know what was doing. So they charged me with purchasing the whole FF&E package for this full-service hotel. Looking back, that was a little crazy. I mean, right? But fortunately, I had people that were able to give me assistance on to do that, and I went immediately and took drafting classes so that at least I could understand and communicate with the architects and the suppliers, et cetera. And I was with that company for 10 years, built 48 hotels, that's one hotel every 2 years, and I had the time of my life. As a woman in the industry, if you really want to get an education, you go work with superintendents and contractors and electricians and plumbers, and you work a job site. You get an education of a lifetime. And I was so happy with what I was doing. I was allowed to pick real estate sites, to do market feasibility studies, to set up a franchise organization, to set up reservation systems and contract and hire it, and yes, to train managers for hotels. So it was again, education by fire hose type of learning process. In 1989, actually a little bit earlier than that, in 1986, I joined a company that was set up to partner with McDonald's. And we actually went in and bought land along the freeway system. 100 acres, 70 acres of land, where we were actually kicking the cows and the corn off and building an oasis. And McDonald's called it McStop. The first parcel that we took down, I worked with 11 different government agencies. Again, no experience with public politics, none at all. We had to have the land annexed into the city. We had to have sewer and water brought to it. It was on the Mississippi River, so we had the DNR involved, we had DOT involved, we had zoning, planning, etc. involved. I never knew there were so many government agencies, and now I know what's wrong with government today. But it really gave me an insight into how to get things done, into working with and through the government processes.